Imagine this for a second. Instead of just endlessly prompting some generic AI, crossing your fingers and hoping it gets your code right, what if you could literally hire a specialized super team of developer personas right there inside your editor? We're talking a dedicated security expert, a hyper-meticulous planner, a rapid-fire implementer. Well, buckle up because that's exactly what we're looking at today.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're exploring an absolute game changer in how we interact with AI during software development. We're going to break down exactly how you can transform Visual Studio Code by building your very own AI super team using custom agents. Okay, let's dive right into this. Here is our agenda. First, we'll meet these custom agents. Then, we'll talk about why specialization is so key. After that, we'll look at handoffs, take a peek under the hood, build your very first agent, and finally, wrap up with how to share your new super team with your colleagues. All right, part 1, meet your custom agents. So, we're moving away from standard one-size-fits-all AI and stepping into some highly tailored chat experiences. What exactly are custom agents? Well, they're essentially configurations in VS Code that let the AI adopt specific personas, behaviors, tools, and instructions. Think of them as brand new, highly specialized staff members that you're bringing directly into your daily workflow. You aren't just opening a blank chat window anymore. You are invoking a specific expert, tailored exactly to whatever you need in that exact moment. And you can create all sorts of specialized roles for the super team. You might spin up a security reviewer, right? Someone whose only job, literally their only job, is to hunt for vulnerabilities. Or maybe a planner to draft out your complex architecture. You could have a solution architect or a hyper-focused feature builder. The beauty here is that each of these roles comes with its own unique set of behaviors and, crucially, its own specific tool belt. Which brings us to part 2. Why specialize your AI? Now, you might be wondering, why do we even need to specialize? Why not just use one really smart AI for everything? Well, consider this contrast. On one hand, we have a planner agent. Its entire job is to gather project context and do research, so naturally, it should only have access to read-only tools. It absolutely shouldn't have the ability to accidentally modify your code. But on the flip side, the implementation agent actually needs full editing capabilities to act on that research and safely start making changes. So the core idea here is security and control. By restricting tools based on the agent's role, you're directly applying the principle of least privilege right to your AI workflow. This is huge. It ensures your AI's responses are predictable, they're consistent, and they're perfectly appropriate for the task at hand. You literally never have to worry about a casual brainstorming session accidentally overwriting a critical system file. Moving on to part 3, passing the baton, handoffs. So what happens when a task is just too big for one expert? Well, handoffs let you create a guided, sequential workflow right inside the chat. It's like the ultimate relay race. Imagine starting with step 1. Your planner agent generates a really solid implementation plan. Then, right there in the UI, a button pops up, allowing you to hand the context off to step 2, the implementation agent, who immediately starts coding it out. Once they're done, another handoff takes you to step 3, the review agent, to check for quality and security. All that context is seamlessly passed from one expert to the next. Behind the scenes, the mechanics driving this relay race are surprisingly simple. The handoff feature is just controlled by a few basic YAML properties. You define a label for the button, the agent you actually want to switch to, and a pre-filled prompt to get them started on their specific phase. And notice that send flag at the bottom? By default, it's set to false. This means you, the developer, retain total control. You get to review and approve the handoff prompt before actually hitting send to kick off the next step. Let's look at part 4, under the hood. Okay, so how is this super team actually built? The amazing part is that configuring them doesn't require a PhD in machine learning. They are literally just smartly configured markdown files. So where do these .agent.md files live? Well, you can scope them perfectly to your needs. If you want an agent just for your current project, you drop the file into the .github/agents folder of your workspace. There's even support for Claude format files in the .claude/agents folder. But if you've built an amazing custom agent that you want to use everywhere, you can save it globally to your user profile scope. That way, your custom expert is always on standby no matter what workspace you happen to be in. Inside that markdown file is a simple YAML header or front matter. This block is exactly how you configure your new worker. The Tools field equips their tool belt, maybe giving them web fetch capabilities or custom MCP tools. The Agents field defines which sub-agents they're allowed to manage. You can even lock an agent to a specific AI model, or set up hooks to automatically run terminal commands like formatting scripts right after they use a tool. Right below that YAML header is the body of the Markdown file. This is where you write out the specific prompts and guidelines that your agent needs to follow. It's just standard Markdown text. And if you need to reference those tools you assign them up in the header, you just directly call them right there in the text using a super simple syntax, like hashtag tool, web/fetch. It's incredibly straightforward and instantly readable. Moving to part 5, building your first agent. All right, we know what they are and how they work. Let's get to the fun part, execution. There are 3 highly actionable ways you can start building your first agent today. You can use the Visual Agent Customizations editor by running chat open customizations. You can use the standard command palette and select new custom agent. But honestly, my absolute favorite method is AI generation. You just hop into your chat, type /create-agent, and simply describe the persona you want. The AI will actually ask you clarifying questions and then generate the entire Markdown file for you. It's like magic. And this brings us to a really surprising pro tip from the source documentation. Let's say you just finished a fantastic multi-turn debugging session with the AI. You finally fixed that stubborn issue, and you realize, hey, I do this specific type of task all the time. You can literally just type into the chat, make an agent for this kind of task. The system will extract that entire workflow context and package it up into a reusable custom agent forever. How brilliant is that? Finally, part 6, sharing the super team. Okay, so you've built this incredible squad, but as we all know, software development is a team sport. These agents aren't just meant for solo devs. By simply committing your agent markdown files into your repositories .github/agents folder, anyone who pulls the repo instantly gets access to the exact same specialized personas. You can even define them at the GitHub organization level, so everyone in your company has access from day one. Or if you have a massive monorepo, you can configure custom file locations to discover agents from parent directories. The whole team gets supercharged with zero friction. So, we've explored what custom agents are, how they restrict permissions for maximum security, how handoffs chain their abilities together, and how simple markdown files bring the whole thing to life. The tools are literally right there in your editor, just waiting for you to structure your workflow in a completely new way. So, my final question to you is this. Which specialized AI persona will you hire for your development super team first? Go start building, experiment with some roles, and I truly hope this explainer helps you entirely transform how you develop software.